Welcome to this tutorial. My name is Michiel from Bitnami Support and I'm going to show you how to configure HTTPS using the Bncert tool that comes with Bitnami Stacks. The new Bncert tool is very easy to use. You only need to provide a domain and it will set up a Let's Encrypt certificate and configure it for your Bitnami stack. For this tutorial you need a recent Bitnami application running in the cloud, and you need a valid domain pointing to the instance's IP address. These are the steps we're going to follow. We're going to set up a certificate with the default settings using the Bncert tool and then check it. Then we're going to redirect www to non-www and check it as well. And finally we're going to add a second domain and check that as well. So let's get started. So I'm first going to show you how to create a certificate with the default options, which are HTTPS redirection enabled and redirection from non-www to www. So that means that if a visitor visits your website by typing in example.com, they will be automatically redirected to HTTPS www.example.com. So I've SSH'd into my instance. You can find the Bncert tool in the OPT Bitnami folder. As you can see, it's there. So it needs to be run with sudo privileges. So let's type in sudo and then the Bncert tool. So let's stop here for a moment. If you just want to mention that it's possible to disable HTTPS redirection by adding enable HTTPS redirection 0. Okay, so if you add that, it will not redirect automatically to HTTPS. But in most cases, it's recommendable to enable it. So now I'm going to run the tool. So I'm just going to type in the domain I'm using, which is Bncert, let's see, Bncert demo bitnamiapp.com, and I'm going to press enter. Now we get an overview of the steps that will be executed by the tool, which by default are the HTTPS and www to and non-www to www redirection. I'm going to agree with that by pressing enter. And the tool is just going to configure everything for me. I also need to put in an email address, so I'm just going to put in mine. And it's asking to agree with the subscriber agreements. And it's configuring everything for me. It's all automatic. So the execution has been successful. We only need to press enter to stop, and then we're going to check if everything is working. So let's check if the certificate is working. I'm just going to type the domain name here. And this should redirect me automatically to HTTPS with www. So that is working as well. And you can see that the certificate is valid and issued by Let's Encrypt. So let's check out a few other things as well. Now let's say that you've already configured HTTPS with the Bncert tool, but you want to get rid of the www in the URL. To do that, we need to run the Bncert tool again, but with custom options. So let's run the tool. and it's going to ask us for the domain again. So let's type it in. It's giving us a warning that the domain already exists. We're going to accept that. And now, instead of agreeing with the default options, we're going to say no. So it's going to ask us one by one about all the options. So we want to enable HTTPS redirection. So we'll just press enter there. It's asking if we want to enable non-www to www redirection. We don't want that, so we say no. And now it's asking if we want www to non-www redirection, which we do want. It's going to tell us again all the steps it's going to execute. We agree with it. And the email address again. We agree with the subscriber agreement, and it's going to run again. So let's check if that has worked. We're going to type in the domain again. So as you can see, there's no www here, and everything else is still working the same. Now let's say I already have my certificate configured for one website, but I want to add another domain as well. In that case, it's possible to run the tool again. And now when it asks for the domain name, I'm going to add my own domain. And I'm going to add a second domain. And for these two domains, it's going to automatically add the www domains as well, so you don't have to do that. So it's saying that it already found a valid certificate, and it's asking me if I want to revoke it or create a new one. I want to create a new one for both domains, so I'm going to say yes. And now it shows me all the steps it's going to execute. I agree with it and continue. And I have to provide my email address again. Agree with the terms. And when the tool is finished running, I'm going to check if it's working in the browser. So now let's check for both domains if the certificate is configured correctly. So for the main domain, it's working, as you can see. So now let's check the second domain. And for this domain, it's also working. So that's all for today. Thank you for watching this tutorial.